actually in the store for you, and their icons on your desktop. So it's very easy to get to the applications. And this is a beta product for us, and so we're going to continue to look at how consumers are using it and evolve it over time so that it is even more consumer friendly.
I think you'd said earlier that you wanted people to have a chance to download it and give feedback as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it is available for download already at www.intelappup.com. And we want people to start playing with it. It is a beta, so everything's not perfect, but we want your feedback. We want you to go try it out and tell us what you think.
I think the reason I'm excited about it is I'm app nuts, but is that usually at CES you get a lot of announcements about stuff that's coming.
Yes.
And it's so cool. You guys made the keynote announcement and it launched right away.
Yes.
So for people to check out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we already have people playing with the applications, both Intel employees and outside of Intel. I mean, I've been using it for the last couple of days. I've already got some applications that I really like Newsy and Yono I've been using so that I can do all my social media from one location as opposed to multiple locations. And I've already got some applications that I'm looking forward to downloading after I get home.
Which is great. So let's take time for a couple of questions, and I just know all the men that arrived were here to talk about moms. So,
I have to say this is probably the closest I'll ever get to a porn panel.
Yeah, there you go. This panel, so since you want to know about moms, you're gonna have about 11
moms
more minutes
have sex
to learn.
Too,
Yeah, moms have sex too.
That's how they got
to be moms.
We do not have an app for that. Yeah. So
we're appearing nightly,
but we're not gonna change direction here and go all the way there. But would love to see a couple questions for any of our panelists. A lot of really good information up here.
We could have a whole new discussion on technology and sex and moms.
Yeah.
Back there.
Technology is long about in the home and personal life to help you feel like a children. But I automate technology to automate a lot of the processes so that when I figure that I have more time, then technology is done. And I think I'm really good about it. When you really own a lot of businesses, and most businesses,
in terms of how to use technologies to streamline and automate so that you have more time away from it.
I automated the training. And it was so good of bringing up more time. Not to be more friendly for my client.
I think there's automation, and I also think that there's some of the applications that, for example, taking multiple schedules and syncing them into one place. So it's providing it in a different way that will buy you more time as well.
Well, I think you bring up another good point that often technology companies don't talk about, and that's the mompreneur out there. And my research shows that 90% of moms will use the same brand of technology for their home-based offices or their traditional offices and their companies that they use at home. So for a technology company, it's really great because if you get her in the home, you're going to get her at the office too. And we forget about the 10 million moms who are running either home-based businesses or traditional businesses in the United States, and their loyalty to the brand is significant.
And I think part of that also is just seamless coordination across things. So, I mean, scheduling, to your point, which is that, it's great that you can do that, but I think a lot of people struggle to even have their school have something that's automated that you can dump into your Outlook or to your Exchange. And so that's kind of the challenge to marketers and people who are developing products, is to make sure that everything kind of works together in a seamless fashion. And that's where the promise of the cloud computing comes in.
I have a question sort of across the board, and I know it also applies to the applications as well, so the input and then the output. But where kids fit into this, moms and kids, and if there's any sharing of the technologies or kind of how that works.
Well, wasn't there something that you show that moms get kids old technology?
Yeah, moms give kids old technology, but then also kids bring mom into technology. For example, texting. So older moms, especially who get cell phones, start texting their kids because that's the only way their kids are responding to them. They can't call them because it's not cool to pick up a phone call from your mom, but it is okay and private enough to text, and then vice versa happens at work. So what we see is that kids are bringing older moms into technology. Same thing in social networking. So a lot of older moms are getting into social networking so that they can keep up with their kids on Facebook.
And the main motivation for a lot of moms, for most, to learn to text is so they can talk to their kids. That's what the motivation is. How many have seen that Verizon commercial where they're texting on the couch and the teenage girl has that great pitch to her voice, which is like close to hysteria as teenage girls can be? It's a really good example of how the kids are dragging the parents into the technology.
Yeah, I think we see, particularly with netbooks, we see that moms are buying them for themselves and they're buying them for their kids. I could say personally that Santa brought my two kids, who are 9 and 6, netbooks for Christmas, and I know a lot of other people that did the same thing. And what we see is that moms are giving their kids technology to use, but we also see, and particularly in the case of the use of the netbook, it's sitting in the kitchen. So it's being used as a distraction device for the kids or for the mom. It goes either way. Let me turn over my netbook to you right now so that you can practice your math facts or so that you can play a particular game. And because it's small, because it's an inexpensive device, moms are a lot more comfortable even letting their 3-year-old bang on the netbook as opposed to letting them go sit up with their brand new core system that they just spent a lot more than $300, $200 on. So we're seeing.
Perrin, I think you can speak best to the example of the Wii. The popularity with the Wii was it was a way to bring the family together, and
absolutely was.
So it's not only connecting us to keep our children's schedules, but a lot of moms have seen it as an opportunity to actually a new way to communicate with their kids and communicate more often. And
we've seen
you're the perfect example
of stories
of
families coming together. We've seen lots of tears, and
playing the Wii has been a leveler. You get grandma can relate to her grandkid. The mom who's been a little estranged from her, teenage son. They're all of a sudden playing together, and they have, Victory Yes Guitar Hero, it's a long story, but we were very strategic about how we launched it, and I loved every minute of it. It was really fun.
I think what's also interesting about the netbook for women in particular and for moms is what I call the pocketbook factor, which is, if you remember many years ago when PDAs first started coming out, there was something called the Nina, and there were a few other way back even to the Newton. And they were designed to fit into a coat or breast pocket. Women do not have coat or breast pockets. So what you'd end up doing is you'd throw it in your purse, and then it would turn on and the battery would go out, and then you couldn't use it. The thing about the netbook is it has that pocketbook power. It can fit into your purse. You can toss it in there, you can close it up, and there's a lot about that form factor which is very appealing on top of all the applications and everything else as well.
So I think we're going to wrap up. I have one question for some of the new people that came in. Did any of you who arrived to get a good seat for the next debate learn anything new while you were sitting here? If you did, raise your hand, please. All right. Very cool. Thank you. Lynn, Robin, Maria, and Patricia, thank you. And we'll let you guys move to the next section. Thanks again.